Dr. Doomsday, my assistant Brenda said over my office desk phone speaker. You have a visitor. They're currently being detained in cell block 4. I glared at my phone, irritated and confused by the ever more common interruption. Again? I asked, making sure my frustration was clear in my tone. Yes, doctor. They rang the doorbell and asked to speak with you specifically. I sighed, tossing my tablet on my desk with a flick of my metallic wrist. Tell the guards to hold them. I'll be there sometime this morning. Cell Block 4 was exclusively for superheroes, reinforced against the most common powers like super strength. The guards in that block had power suppression devices, counter-hero combat training, and, in the event I could ever catch my nemesis WalkMan, white noise machines. For a random walk-in to be detained there, after willingly approaching my Doomsday fort? I pushed the button on the speakerphone once again. Brenda, how old is the prisoner? I asked. They are approximately 17, according to our bioscanners, she replied crisply. I curled my cyborg hand into a fist. These teenage supers had kept coming to me for advice like I was some high school counselor. I had an entire free wellness clinic set up in the city center as part of several of my ongoing plans that would have served them far better than I could, if I actually wanted to try. I made my way to cell block 4, stopping along the way to check in with some of my newer employees. It was always good to keep a high morale within a villainous organization like mine, to prevent any disgruntled minion from helping a do-gooder hero. A smile, a clap on the back, a quick question about the status of a spouse or child, all cost me mere seconds, but made the minion's whole day. When I finally reached cell block 4, 2 of my guards greeted me. She's in cell D, one told me. She's been asking for you specifically. Then she shall have an audience, I said, walking past the guards. Prepare the crematorium in case she gives me an unsatisfactory performance. I stopped in front of the cell door and saw the young hero seated at the small desk within. She had short, spiked hair dyed a vibrant blue. But as I watched, it shifted to a dark purple and then a bright red. Interesting. I opened the door but made no move to enter. The girl inside spun on her chair, startled by my sudden appearance. Dr. Doomsday, she said in a false, deep voice that made her sound far less intimidating than she probably thought it did. Her hair flushed a jet black as she spoke. I wanted to speak to you. Why do you children keep interrupting my fortress of doomitude? I interrupted, using an actually intimidating tone. I had spent hundreds of hours practicing with a voice coach to achieve the perfect villainous sound to my speech, and added biomechanical subwoofers to amplify the effect. The young woman cringed while her hair shifted to a mustard yellow color. Sorry, she said, trying to make herself look smaller in any way she could. It's just, there's not a lot of LGBTQ plus heroes and villains out there for us to ask for advice. I glared at the girl, confused. Girl, I am married to a woman. I am not any of those letters you just jumbled out. She tilted her head in confusion, and her hair turned to a salt and pepper gray. But you proposed to WalkMan. We thought you two... She dug through the cargo pocket on her pants and brought out a printed photograph. I used my mechanical eye to zoom in on the picture, only to see a candid shot of me on one knee, ring raised towards a defensive WalkMan. I was asking WalkMan to be my official nemesis, proposing with a sarcastic flourish of a sinister blade ring trap. It had removed his finger only moments after this picture was taken. It was all over the news. We were so happy for you two. I uttered a thoughtful grunting sound, considering my next move. If I could structure this right, it was a massive opportunity for me. I'm sorry to disappoint, but that was a trick. The ring contained a blade that later removed one of his fingers, I said, taking some of the edge out of my voice. I quickly resumed speaking as her features fell, changing her hair color to a deep, sad gray. However, I am an ally of the LGBTQ+ people. I know that there aren't any current active queer heroes on the grand stage. I know how hard that can be for people such as yourself. I took a step into the cell and sat on the edge of the unused bed. I clasped my mechanical hands together, trying to relax my villainous demeanor in front of the girl. So, what do you want to ask? The girl's short hair turned a vibrant pink as she perked up. Well, I was going to ask how you handled being a gay villain, but since you're straight, I smiled at the young woman. I am straight, yes. But I have a few henchmen and general employees who are in the LGBTQ+ community. Her hair turned an even more brilliant shade of pink, to a degree I had never seen before. Really? Her eyes sparkled as well, with the same ultra-pink hue. Yes. Would you like to speak with one of them? I asked, offering a lifeline to the confused girl. Absolutely. Thank you. That would be great, she said, bouncing to her feet. She was taller than I had assumed, probably close to 6 feet tall. I stood and stepped out of the cell back into the hallway. I'll get that arranged. If you're interested, we offer internships here at Doomsday, Inc. I would assign you to the Powered Henchman Division, headed by Stefan. He and his husband would love to speak with you. The woman's hair turned a dull blue and she erupted into tears. Before I could react, she was embracing me in a massive hug, sobbing into my lab coat. I returned the hug, holding her until the sobs quieted down. Sorry, she sniffled, wiping an errant tear from her cheek. It's just, my parents, they kicked me out, and I turned to one of the guards. Please ask Stefan to come here. I want to introduce him to his newest team member. The woman's hair returned to its vibrant pink hue, with the tips of the spikes showing some remnants of the blue I had come to associate with sadness. Thank you, she whispered and hugged me again. Welcome to the Doom Squad, I said, giving her a reassuring pat on the shoulder. Doombot 0028 reporting for maintenance. The young technician looked up from his tablet, which was currently showing the Doom Squad-wide monthly newsletter. His screen had the WalkMan obituary page displayed in full, showing several photos of Dr. Doomsday fighting his nemesis over the years. Damn, you made it back, the young man said, tossing his tablet onto the table beside him. A loud whoop sound came from the Doombot repair bay next to mine, which my technician silenced by smacking the wall with a nearby wrench. I assume you took the introductory bet against me. I limped to the workstation and attached my hands and feet to the lifting station. You know it, the unseen tech said, laughing once more from the next bay. Why do you keep winning? How do you keep coming back in one piece? The young tech said, picking up his customized welding helmet and a cutting torch. I have been programmed with the experiences of every Doom Squad, I began. Yeah, the tech said, cutting me off both literally and physically. My damaged leg fell away, clattering heavily to the floor. So was every other one of you. You're the only 00 unit left. He turned his head to yell at his unseen tech friend. "Hey Earl, what's your unit's number?" he shouted. 9413, I think, he said, muffled through his own cutting mask. "See?" my tech said, resuming his work. "You're like that bot's great-great-great-grandbot or something." I remained silent, partially because I didn't want to accidentally let my secret slip, but mostly because the technician had disabled my voice modulator. As the young tech continued to repair my chassis, part 2 of the plan could occur. I retracted a small panel on my left arm where my human bicep would have been. This area was naturally inflated to give the impression of strength as humans could interpret. They served no other purpose, so they were not damaged when WalkMan had hollowed this one out and installed a trap panel. As the cutting torch roared, a small drone slipped out of the makeshift compartment and flew into the rafters. As WalkMan explained it, this drone could recharge itself by landing near a power outlet. In theory, it could outlive me. The technician began attaching a new leg to my mechanical torso, muttering curses as he planned to get the bolt alignment just right. I detached an arm from the clamp restraint and held my own leg in place for him. "Thanks," he muttered through his mask and secured the limb in place. "All done, 0028. Go forth and doom it up for me, okay?" I nodded, completed a quick diagnostic scan, and downloaded my next assignment. The new software that WalkMan had installed intercepted the file, faking a received handshake protocol and letting me retain motor control. Once outside the compound, I traveled to the rendezvous spot and waited. The plan was to wait precisely at these coordinates for WalkMan to meet with me. I waited. And waited. And waited.